everyone! Welcome to my first video actually filmed in Portugal now. It's been, I think, 3 weeks that I've been here, about 2.5 weeks since I've been in this exact apartment. But I've moved. I moved from Germany at the beginning of November, and it's taken me a few weeks to get settled. We still have a few boxes left to unpack, but I'm getting there slowly. I'm so happy and grateful to be here in Portugal. It's a beautiful country, and I'm very excited to go and explore it. Haven't seen much yet, to be honest. It's just been a lot of unpacking, cleaning, working, but yeah, I'm sure that will come in the next couple of weeks. But I wanted to film a YouTube video, get this up as soon as possible, because I actually wasn't able to upload as much as I was hoping. I didn't get my setup properly until a couple of days after we moved, so it took some time to get everything settled and adjusted. But finally, I think we might be happy with this. We've had a few tech issues, so I'm hoping that this goes fine. But anyway, let's get into the video. So I wanted to do a new series on my YouTube channel that is focused on building. We obviously will keep the other series still going, but as Townhouse Trio ended, I wanted to introduce something else to the channel. So we are going to be doing a series, I don't have a name for it yet, but basically we are going to be building homes for every single Sims 4 career. So obviously we have the criminal career, the culinary career, the art critic career, freelancers, media, we have now the interior designer career, all of the get to work ones. And I will go through and build a home for each of them. I don't know if they're going to be tiny homes. This one is not, actually this one was a small home. It wasn't a tiny home, but it's a small home. But I don't think I'm going to restrict myself. But we are kicking off this series with a scientist's home. So that is what this is for. And I actually did something a little bit different for this video, and we live streamed this on TikTok whilst I was building it, whilst I was filming my screen for YouTube. So yeah, it was a little bit different than what I've normally done by using content when I was streaming and putting it over to YouTube. But if we like this format of a speed build and then me talking over, let me know, because it was actually really fun to live stream. If you don't follow me on TikTok, I'm planning to do this more. I also live stream on Twitch, so 2 places for live streams. But it was fun designing this house with you all because we had some amazing suggestions. So we had some ideas about having kind of a mad scientist, a stereotypical mad scientist. And then we would have this idea of, from the front, the house is perceived to be modern and contemporary and cool, and like this person's very normal. And then from the back garden, you see all of the craziness of all the science experiments, lots of dead plants and trees. Hang on, I need to sneeze. Oh no. It feels like every time I do one of these live voiceover things, I have to sneeze, cough, or I get really thirsty. Okay. It was a ghost sneeze, never mind. Yeah, so that was the idea that we went with. I thought that was brilliant. So the idea is that from the front, the house is very modern and alive. We said all of the plants were alive. And then from the back, we have all the dead plants. So we went with a slightly different plan at the beginning. So you'll see the roofs here. It's very kind of classic house, traditional house. It was getting a little boring, not as exciting as what I wanted it to be. So we do switch the roofs up to go a lot more modern. We are blending in the landscaping with the world. This is actually built in Strangerville. Strangerville is obviously the world for the... What is it an aspiration? No, but you have a secret lab in Strangerville. So I think the vibe does fit very well, because you can actually see it in the distance, I'm pretty sure, from this lot. Obviously, scientist comes with the get-to-work career pack, but we don't have a world for that. So we went with Strangerville for this one. And for the rest of the series of the career homes, I'm going to just build in many different worlds. So that should be fun. So yeah, we were at the beginning a little bit unsure about whether we wanted to do a little bit more of a traditional house or we wanted to go modern contemporary. And this was the door that changed our minds, the door on the right. I thought this industrial door was perfect for outside, for the back garden. But this modern door was the beginning of us changing the vibe of the house. So there we are, deleting the roofs, and then we try out this more modern, asymmetrical. We tried to make it symmetrical at the beginning, but in the end it just wasn't aligning right. So we went with this asymmetrical approach to give it some different shapes. And that's what we went with in the end. And then obviously went and inspired the inside. So that is the main house that you're seeing us roof right now. And that is where we have the living quarters. So the kitchen, dining room, lounge, bathroom, bedroom. And then we had someone suggest on TikTok this amazing idea of this rooftop garden where we would put the telescope, which I thought was so fun. So we have a telescope up there with a little ladder that makes the access from the back garden. Love this idea. I think it turned out perfectly. And then you see a trailer or a camper van out the back in the back garden, and that is where the crazy science experiments happen. So I wanted to keep them in two different spaces just to go along with that story of modern and normal from the front, and then kind of a little bit crazy at the back. So I think the trailer was a nice addition. And we actually end up I don't know why I attempted to do a trailer diagonal. I made it so much harder for myself. I just thought it would be a nice shape to do something diagonal at the back. In the end, that was silly. It made it so much harder for us because you can't place stairs diagonally, which I did not even realize. You can't place stairs diagonally, so we had to bring the porch out and make it diagonal. Make it straight. It's coming. Bless me. I forgot, I lost my train of thought. I think I was talking about the stairs. Yeah, I somehow made it hard for myself. Can't do stairs diagonal, so we had to adjust the porch to make them front on. But anyway, then once we perfected it, we now have this really cool trailer at the back, which I think is so fun. And for storylines, I think that would be really cool. Now we're just detailing the front of the house. We do some kind of asymmetrical thing with the plants. We put this little plant pot out the front, the one with the orange plant, and we said that maybe it's a magical plant. So we're dropping little hints that it's a mad scientist that lives here. But yeah, that's just little hidden Easter eggs. Then we went in with the wallpapers for the house. I missed that out, but we did two types of wallpapers, modern one and a brick one to separate the different sections. And I really like how it came together. It's kind of gray and dull, which I think is appropriate because I wanted it to feel slightly worn down. So we have a lot of like trees and vines running up the side of the house. And then on the inside, a little bit more put together, but then obviously if you go to the back garden, it's a whole nother world. Now we are just finishing up the trailer of the roofing pieces. I have an entire TikTok video on how to do this actually. So if you don't know how to build trailers, they are actually super easy to do. You can do them base game as well. They are just a little fiddly. So if you don't know how to do it, probably wouldn't be able to get it from this video because it's so sped up, but I have TikToks going step by step, which I'll probably leave down below. I'll do that. If I remember, I'll leave it down below. I forgot to mention also at the beginning of the video, I think I cut it out in the end, but we spent about 25 minutes going through debug from Strangerville's debug, Eco Living, Get to Work, and Journey to Batu, to find some really cool industrial pieces for the garden. So we found this I think it's a crane. We found this crane. It blended in well with the world, so I put that in there. We found loads of these barrels. We found generators, plumbing, pipes, big electrical equipment, and the plan is just to scatter it all at the end throughout the back garden. You might occasionally see it in the front garden. It's only because I moved it there to have some space to work. But yeah, that was really fun going through debug. For builds like this with a bit more of a story, debug is amazing for that because You can find so many hidden gems in Debug that fit different narratives. So yeah, those are the 4 packs we actually used the most in this build, I would say. It was Journey to Batu, Eco Living, Get to Work, and there was another one. What was the other one? Strangerville. That was it. So that was us finishing up the front of the house. We, as you saw, we deleted the kind of curved fencing that we had at the beginning of the video. Those were actually Debug, by the way. We deleted them because we went with this modern approach, so it didn't quite fit the vibe. And instead, we went with these tiles. We did tiles all along the main entrance. And then the next day, I sat down on my computer. This was not on TikTok Live, and I thought the house needed height. The house needed height. So we went in and just added, or I went in and just added a second floor to just one part of the house, which I think was enough to give it some shape. And yeah, then we added some nice a window feature, which reminds me of somebody who maybe is into astrology. I feel like they'd have beautiful windows like that maybe they have their own telescope, a smaller one, and then they can look up at stars at night, or they just fall asleep to stars. I think that's really, really cool. So yeah. Okay, now the fun part, the interior. So we had a couple different suggestions to do the interior inspired by Big Bang Theory. Rebecca suggested that. I loved that idea. That was the floor plan inspiration that we took. So, well, the actual floor plan is different, but you had the kitchen in the same kind of way with an island and 2 chairs. That was Big Bang. And then so many bookshelves in the Big Bang apartment. And this is Sheldon's apartment, by the way. So many bookshelves, all exposed open bookshelves. So we took that also as inspiration. And then just kind of that industrial, old-fashioned feel. That's what we went with for the vibe. And then the rest I just kind of improvised. But I wanted to have a pop of color. Actually, there's kind of 2 pops of color. We have orange as a main color and a turquoisey green. And then a few others, purple and navy blue, I think. But I wanted those 2, orange and green, to be the main colors. And we're just going in with some details now. That was the kitchen and the lounge finished up. I like how they set the tone for the house. Modern with industrial with a few modern pieces. I think that's what I went for in the end. And we went with this big open floor plan from Big Bang Theory, so that was fairly easy to do. Few bits of clutter, I think, on the counters. Nothing too much. This is all fully functional and playable. So it's available to download on the gallery now. I think I'm going to call it just something like Scientist's Home or Home for a Scientist. And then I'll add that throughout the series. And here we're just adding some final bits of clutter, some pops of color. I went with fairly neutral walls and floors throughout the house because I wanted it in general to be fairly neutral, and then just the pops of color to tie everything together. So I didn't want to do any crazy wallpapers, but I think it works because then I think it's a good enough of a blank canvas that whatever scientist sim you move in here, you can put their own personal touches on it. Whether you want it to be maybe a couple. I think a couple could live here. There is a double bed. Or a single sim, maybe a loner. Totally up to you. You can adjust it to your storyline. Then we had kind of this awkward dead space here. Had no idea what to do with this for ages. And then I thought maybe just a dining table. More seating space. Kind of weird that you walk straight out into the dining room. But maybe, it's a big open plan space, so it does kind of work. More bookshelves, more exposed bookshelves. I love this bookshelf that I used against that wall there. I don't know what pack that is, but I use it in pretty much all of my builds, or all of my industrial builds, because I like that it has the concrete pieces underneath. Just going in here with a few... Oh, these chairs from Eco Living I loved. They also felt very industrial, kind of thrown together. Handmade. No, wait, what's the word I'm looking for? DIY'd. They look a little DIY'd, so I put them outside instead. But now we are just finishing up on the main features for the living space. I'm gonna have a drink of water. I am going in with some plants. I didn't want to do too many plants. In the end, I did quite a few in here, actually. The reason why I did, I think, more than I planned to was because they were so good at bringing in that green color to match with the chairs. So it tied everything together really well. So, yeah, there's not too many, just enough. And then we're going in with some clutter. I love some of the plants that we got from the new kit. That plant especially, the one on the right on the bookshelf, that looks like they're in Bunsen burners. So I thought that was perfect for the scientist theme. I should have actually put that plant more than once. But yeah, a few little details. And then I did this table on the entrance. And I just put a bunch of paperwork on it. And I think the story is maybe... I mean, I really wanted it to be personal and modern and kind of normal looking in the main living space, and then craziness and a bunch of paperwork in the science areas. But I thought maybe that table was just kind of a little hint at what goes on behind the scenes. So I just put a bunch of paperwork there and secret files, redacted files and paperwork. We have this little seating area here. We actually have so many galaxy artworks in the game, which was so nice and refreshing to actually have a lot of artwork to choose from. We have a lot with this, I think it's Strangerville, that comes with a lot of, oh, is it Strangerville? Or it could be Get to Work. But it's a lot of galaxy artwork that's in hidden objects debug. No idea why it's there, but if you put on your cheats, you can find it. So we're just doing the bathroom or finishing up the bathroom. It's the only bathroom of the house, so it's just one bathtub, very easy, bath, toilet and sink, nothing special. And now we have the garage. So, or it's not really a garage, but I would see it's like a converted storage room, or maybe it's, I don't know. I kept the walls brick. It probably should have been in the front of the house, but anyway. I put a little secret door there as well, because this is really where their computer is, where all the magic happens, or maybe not where the magic happens, because I want the experiments to happen in the trailer, but maybe where things are kind of recorded and documented, and all the secrets are hidden in this room here. I put a little coffee machine. I thought that was very appropriate. But yeah, this door can be locked to everyone except one specific sim. So I think that's good for the storyline. So then I started doing the bed, and I did not want to do a single bed. I just thought a science sim like this deserves a double bed. They work long hours. They deserve a double bed. So I just extended the top a little bit. It kind of messed with this floor plan downstairs because I had to move the stairs. But very easy to fix. I did change those chairs. Ooh, I remember what I changed them to. I think I do it a bit later. There you go. The orange ones. Perfect. We needed more orange in this room. So, and another galaxy picture. So yeah, that was it then. Nice little seating area, as an entrance to the private office. And then this ottoman with some plants on it. And then up we go. Upstairs, then we just did the double bed. Nothing special, actually. The bedroom is just a double bed, wardrobe, mirror. That's it. I'm just adding in a few more details to this room. Not much. Oh, I remember I was waiting to clutter up this room until I did the trailer, and then I wanted to go through debug for those 4 packs that I named and do everything at the same time, because I was not about to scroll through debug. No, it would have been 3 times for this one build. The most I'll commit to scrolling through debug per build is once. No, I did it twice for this video, so it's a special one. But yeah, anyway, we're just upstairs. Simple bedroom. I don't imagine they spend a lot of time in their bedroom. They don't get a lot of sleep. They spend a lot of time in the trailer. So we didn't do much. This is actually the only time I've used that wardrobe, the new did it come in the anniversary update, or maybe it didn't? It just is base game now. It's from an update last year. It's actually the only time I've used it. I do love it, but it doesn't normally go with my houses, so it's kind of nice to use it for the first time. Then we just did a shelf of books, of course. This scientist is an avid reader. And then a few other clutter pieces. What did I do at the end? Oh yeah, and some potions. And that's it. And then the color for this room was blue. I was thinking about bringing orange up here, or no, yellow, but that wasn't going to work. So navy blue, we moved it to. Okay, now it was the next day, and we are starting the trailer, which I love doing. I love doing builds like this. I really like having storylines, and there's enough items in the game, I think, that we can do really, really fun storytelling. So I put all of the tech pieces, the equipment from Get to Work, all of the 4-packs that I named. Ignore this freeze. What is happening? Okay, we're back. Sorry, I don't know why that froze. I think I was at the bathroom or something. Okay, so now we are working on the outside. We have a little seating space here. I was really unsure about whether I wanted to do a social space, a dining table, barbecue, seating area, or just make it purely science. But I'm glad I went with a little social area, because maybe this sim has some friends, some science friends that come over and they just do some science whilst eating some burgers or hot dogs. I think that could be fun. I mean, it could be a loner scientist, or it could be quite a sociable scientist. Either way, I wanted to give you the option. So we just have a dining table, barbecue, and a small seating area here, and I think that's good. Just to have some kind of activity outside other than science. And yeah, here I am going through the different pieces of equipment that we have, science equipment, and spreading them throughout the trailer. And here we are going through with a few bits of terrain paint and some landscaping, just some greenery to bring everything together. And then adding some plant pots, of course. I was going to put some magical plants in the plant pots, the colorful ones that we have from Strangerville, but I left them open so they are fully functional. And then obviously planting or gardening is a huge part of the scientist career, so that will be necessary. And that was the seating space that I told you about, just a little communal seating space. We do a little bonfire in the middle as well to keep all of them warm. In Strangerville, in the desert, which you definitely will not need. And then after this, we go through debug for the last time. I think this is now the second time, because it did take me ages to go through everything. There was so many cool pieces in the end that I had to abandon because it didn't all fit. But we have so many science equipment pieces. We have little gems and potions and crystals and weighing scales and equipment and utensils, and it was just so much to choose from. I was getting so excited, but in the end I did have to make some sacrifices. But yeah, I actually, you know what, I have no idea what equipment is actually usable during gameplay when you're not in the lab. So can you actually use this science equipment from home? I have no idea. Please let me know down below. Maybe you need to get to a certain level of the science career, or I don't know, maybe you can just practice on them. I have no clue. They look good. They're good props and for the story. So hopefully you can still use them. And then we're just going in with a table in the middle. I just added a few more potions, some water, paperwork, of course, and the finishing bits of equipment for the lab. So yeah, we are coming to the end. Thank you so much for watching. That was so much fun to do. I'm excited about this series. We are going to do, I don't know what career next, actually. Leave me a comment down below what career you would like to see. We will get through all of them slowly but surely. And I will have an episode of Palm Sims coming out soon. There'll be a more regular schedule now that I've moved properly, and I'm settled. And yeah, this is now uploaded onto the gallery, which is just hiemmanicole, but I'll leave all information down below. But yeah, friends, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!